The future is certainly uncertain, but that doesn't mean we can't predict what's going to happen. Tech is evolving at a pace that is faster than ever before, and well, AI is a huge part of it. If you have been thinking about how AI is going to evolve and change your lives, then you've come to the right place. This is the time-lapse of the future of artificial intelligence. So, will AI become our best friends? Or, like the movies, will try and ruling over us? Keep watching till the end to find out. You might be surprised what science has in store for humanity. They say to predict the future, you must look at the past. Looking at history, artificial intelligence is not that old. The oldest traces only date back to the mid-1900s. Just 70 years and look at how far we've come, from video calls to Amazon to Uber. Who would have thought this kind of thing would ever exist? AI is still very young. You could say we're in the dinosaur era of technology. So what would an AI be in like say 10 or 20 years? Before year 2100. Artificial intelligence is already doing so much. One tap in Google and you will have the information about the whole world in your hands. It is responsible for connecting millions of people for social needs and of course providing people with jobs. In the upcoming years, all these algorithms will just get better. But hey, we're not here to discuss all this boring stuff, are we? Let's move on to the interesting part. If you follow tech, then you must be aware of Elon Musk's NEURALINK project. It's basically a chipset that will be planted into your brain. What does it do? Everything that a smartphone can do basically. It's just your brain turning into a computer. From listening to music, communicating, sending text and call, everything just by using your brain. Sounds pretty interesting, doesn't it? That's not all. Metaverse is also on its way, making a grand debut in the world of technology. It's going to be a totally virtual reality inside a VR. The possibilities inside of it are endless. You can do anything and everything imaginable. And you know what's better? You can code applications and design yourself, which means that the only boundary inside a metaverse is our imagination. Year 2100 through 2400. That's just the beginning of neurotechnology. By 2100 and 2200, it's possible that we'll be able to do electronically aided telepathy. No, I'm not bluffing at all. You can search it up. Just like the NEURALINK, startup companies like KERNEL and CTRL-LABS are working on crazy stuff like these. Sitting with your friend in class and have to share a joke? Just use the chipset in your brain and boom, you both are caught lacking like maniacs and sent out in the class or maybe disconnected from it. What do I mean? Well, remember, I mentioned metaverse. It's already pretty innovative, but as we know, science always evolves and so will the metaverse. Experts say that in the future, as in maybe a few centuries, most of our lives will be spent inside virtual reality. The art and the graphics would be better so that it would be impossible to tell if you're inside VR or you are actually in reality. It's only possible that school, offices, and even parties would just occur online. It's much more convenient that way. However, all these raise some important questions though. Would there not be hackers? What about our privacy and online security? Believe me or not, online security and protection inside the metaverse would be a big thing in the future. So is AI just going to make us more addicted to the internet? Can they be beneficial to our health or not? Of course they can be. And this is where nanotechnology makes its entrance. Nanotech is still under development, but in the future, it's going to be the heart of health and medical science. Since nanotechnology is basically tech, but on the scale of nanometers, they can be used to trace everything that goes around in the entire body. Just think of it this way, many robots would be injected into your bloodstream, and since blood is pumped to the whole body, it can basically give you information about everything that's going on in the body. It can be helpful to detect cancer before it becomes large enough to harm the body. It can also be used to make many medicines that will only act in the target cells where it's supposed to. Year 2400 to 3000. However, after the 2400s to the 3000s, nanotechnology would evolve and it would merge with neurotech to produce something that's even more insane. Well, just as many bots can enter the blood and study all your cells, they can also enter your brain cells and possibly study them too. Combined with the power of neurotechnology, memory loss wouldn't be a thing anymore. Mental health would be greatly enhanced through techniques like meditation and holotrophic breathing, and all this is not a saying of mine. All these statements are coming straight from the research done by psychologist Stanislav Grof. So far, we have just been discussing AI that is directly related to our body, or how it directly would affect us. Let's talk about supercomputers now, things that will completely change our understanding of the whole universe itself. Now, supercomputers aren't something new. They are just being researched for a long time, and even though there hasn't been much success with it, by the 3000s, they would be a powerhouse controlling everything. Supercomputers are computers but can calculate much faster and are way more efficient since they use the principles of quantum physics. Fancy terms, eh? Well, some of the benefits of supercomputers would that we would be able to predict and learn more about climate change, earthquakes, and a lot of other natural disasters. They can be used to fold proteins, to which can be a massive achievement since it's the key to curing diseases like Alzheimer's and cystic fibrosis. Genetic engineering would benefit highly from supercomputers too, since they can compute and simulate all different possibilities of combining different genes. Why is it helpful? Enabling us to know the human DNA better would help us find cures for different genetic diseases, and even find ways to prevent them. Supercomputers are the only way we can know and simulate more about black holes, wormholes, and of course the study of the Big Bang to a deeper level. Plus, the fact that it can possibly even map the entire bloodstream. Oh, and yes, you must be pretty surprised to know that we haven't done that yet, right? We're pretty dumb, you know, or are we? Even though supercomputers compute more than 1,000,000 times faster than regular computers, they are still rookies compared to our brains. I find it quite funny how our brain is complimenting itself when I say this. Regardless, back to the topic. Back in 2006, researchers at the École Polytechnique Fédérale de Lausanne in Switzerland successfully simulated a 10,000 neuron chunk of a rat brain called a neocortical unit. It's a tiny section of the brain, but with the help of the supercomputers and 1,000 years of evolving technology, some experts say that it's entirely possible to even build an entire brain. Right before we jump into the last part, if you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. 3,000 and after. Now if that's possible, and even if it's not, we will be able to create robots that are way more capable of doing what we do now. That brings us to an important question, which is probably why you clicked on the video. Will artificial intelligence be superior to us? It's quite a tricky question. Just look back at all the things we spoke about. Neurotechnology, nanotechnology, supercomputers, making artificial brains, having the ability to have information on your whole brain in a chipset and all that. It's normal that all this information would be stored in some kind of cloud, and well, they can be accessed in illegal manners, can they not? Robots can certainly turn against us knowing that they are better than us, but wait, we code them, we tell them what to do. Machine learning is the thing, and it's true that through algorithms, AIs can learn things on its own. However, as long as we design the algorithm and have control over AI, nothing harmful can happen to us. By then, Earth would not be the only planet humans would be living on, and artificial intelligence would play a big part in our journey. Not only would it design better and more efficient rockets to travel way faster, but it's going to help us in nuclear science too, enabling us to harness energy more efficiently. The world would change a lot, and with that, our lifestyle too, but one thing that is never changing from the moment onwards is our dependence on artificial intelligence. It will only make our lives better, but it will certainly come with a cost. What's that cost? It's uncertain for now. With all that being said, what do you think about artificial intelligence? Which investment in AI technology are you most excited about? Do you think AI will one day take over humanity? Let us know in the comments down below. Anyways, we'll see you in the next one.